right, guys, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. And of course, thanks for subscribing. We truly appreciate it. All right, it looks like FSD Beta 10.12.2 is starting to go wider in the beta. 2 more people in the US and Canada right now. So if you got the beta for the first time, congratulations. It's an awesome thing. It's an awesome product. It's an awesome feature of your car. Take your time. Don't be afraid to be overly cautious. We're going to take a quick drive today, and we're basically going to go through a couple of different scenarios, specifically targeting speed bumps to see how the car handles speed bumps. It used to visualize them. It used to slow down significantly, but now that's not the case. So we're going to jump on in that, and we're going to test that out and see what this looks like right now with speed bumps. Are they going to be too aggressive? Are they going to be just the right speed to hit those speed bumps, etc.? And are they going to visualize them on the screens? We're also going to address the big elephant in the room. As you can see right now, our POV has slightly shifted a little bit. Figured out the DMS issue, the driver monitoring system issue we got in our last video, and it was the proximity of our camera to our face, which the system, the cameras there, thought was a phone. And that was the reason that we were getting to pay attention. That's why we got the strike, because we were looking at the camera and it thought it was a phone, and it basically gave us a strike. So we've slightly adjusted the position, tried to get as much of a POV as we can still get while still keeping the system compliant. And this is what we have right now. Okay, so let's jump into our drive right now. It shouldn't be too long. And let's see how FSD Beta 10.12.2 performs. For those that are new to the channel and new to FSD Beta, here's our setup right here for FSD Beta in terms of our configuration. Follow distance of 2. We use single click as opposed to double click. We also have the driver profile on average, which is just the frequency in which we will make lane changes. It's not something that's going to drive more aggressive like a taxi driver or something like that. It's the follow distance and the frequency in which it's going to make certain changes, right? So assertive is going to give you more frequent speed-based lane changes and exit the passing lane. Average will be in the middle, and chill will do fewer speed-based lane changes and keep a larger follow distance. So we keep average. Everything else we keep straightforward. We keep the offset to fixed. And if you're just new, you're brand new to FSD Beta, I would recommend keeping it to fixed. Don't put an offset here. Drive the limit until you're comfortable, and then you can raise the limit as you see fit from there. All right, so let's jump into it right now. I'll turn the car on, activating it, effectively putting it in drive. And because I've switched profiles, it's going to take a second before FSD Beta can engage, which will be the case for you as well. So if you have FSD Beta not engaged, it's going to take a minute to, or not engaged in a certain profile. When you switch profiles, it's going to take a second to kick in once you start to drive. So just keep that in mind. These are the graphics you will see. And then when it shifts to FSD Beta, you'll start to see some different, more detailed graphics, specifically the curbs right here. There it is. Boom. Now we can engage. Okay. At the limit. Unmarked road. See how it fares. Does a good job preemptively avoiding these cars here. But again, I really wish it would stay the course to a single set, because if there's multiple cars, it'll be weaving in and out of the road. See, now we're so far in the middle, this car is coming, and now we have to get over. See that? All right, coming up to a stop sign, start to make a turn. And here's where it's going to get awkward if you have a yoke and you just got FSD Beta. You're going to want to disengage yourself from touching the yoke on turns, because the yoke is very easy to disengage. It's creeping forward for visibility. Cars coming. I'm going to slow this one down because the car didn't want to stop for us. I'll re-engage now. Don't be afraid to disengage. Don't be afraid to disengage. Be overly cautious, like a child, like a teen driver. Just don't be afraid to disengage and get yourself into a weird situation. If you feel like the car is doing something or is not doing something the right way, jump in, take over immediately. There's nothing wrong in doing that. There's nothing wrong in disengaging the car. Now, what you also want to do is flag that. All right, so flag it. A little bit harder on the new S and X, but flagging is something that can be done either way. Little turning force here. Gets over. Onto the shoulder a little bit. Not fond of that behavior, but that's what it's doing. Has to make another turn here. A little herky-jerky, a little aggressive, and a car was here, so good job avoiding the situation. Very good so far. But again, these are things that are going to be unnerving for you for your first time because you're not experiencing being driven in the driver's seat. So again, use your own discretion, use your level of comfort to determine when you want to take over and when you don't. Speed bump coming up, doesn't visualize it and takes it pretty fast. Pretty fast. I am in the Plaid, but I don't have it on Plaid acceleration. It's on sport acceleration and right in the middle of the road. Now it's going to try to get over for this car, which is kind of odd. So again, just sort of anticipating that cars are going to come is really what it should be doing here. Speed bump, again, straight in the middle of the speed bump. It should really bias towards the side. And now it wants to get over for this really, really sharp turn. And that was a wheel and probably a rim. So no good for FSD Beta on that one. Jumped the curb. I kind of thought it would not do it, but it did. So that's not good. Unmarked road, winding road. And I'll probably need a new rim there. So thanks a lot, FSD Beta. And here's why you want to sort of take over when you feel that's not going to do the right thing, or you feel it might be too sharp. But we do this for the team, for the community. So it's all right for us. But for you, definitely take over. It says autopilot paused, waiting for a cyclist, but there wasn't a cyclist around. Okay, goes up, creeps up. You can give it a little bit of accelerator to give it some confidence. I'm going to do that right now. It's got to make another sharp turn. Hopefully it does the right thing this time and doesn't damage the wheel any further. Okay, slowly but steady. A little hesitant, very slow, very awkward for people behind us. So you give it a little bit of accelerator and that helps it out. Changing lanes. With a certain degree of change, I've noticed that the car automatically puts on the turn signal. For a winding road or a road that turns a certain degree, it automatically puts on the turn signal, which is a little bit odd. See that? Changing lanes erratically for no reason here. I have a hand on the yoke to take over as needed. Still putting the turn signal on, not sure why. We're not going that far. And then it changes back into this lane. So these are the types of things that you want to be cautious and careful about. And more importantly, when you test this out, you want to drive it on routes that you're familiar with so that you can take over. You don't want to just drive it anywhere where you don't know what the road is going to do or where it goes. So that can give you some confidence that the car has confidence. Now, ideally, it should stay in this lane and make the turn, but let's see what happens if it tries to get over. Just flag that just in case. I'll also keep my recording of my damaged rim here from jumping the curb there. Never curbed a rim. Now it's getting in this lane where it shouldn't cross instead of staying in the lane it should be. Okay, here, light turns yellow. I'm going to give it some acceleration so it can proceed through even though it's on the yellow. Just a little bit. And we're clear through the intersection for now. Okay, a little bit of traffic here. Just a little bit of acceleration just to give it some confidence to go forward. Not too much, nothing crazy, but just enough. A little toasty in here. Now it's trying to get over into this next lane. People probably won't let it because they're pretty aggressive right here. So I'm going to go ahead and just let the car do what it does. And I'll actually cancel this lane change. I'll let it go straight. So a little bit of an intervention, but not sort of a disengaging intervention here. It's got to get into this next lane, but there's cars turning right here, which typically make it a little bit difficult for it to do that. Now it's going to get over it because it's clear. Better time to do it. Good job. Slows down a little bit, and we're off. Sometimes it anticipates cars trying to merge, and it did a lane change a little bit too early too right there. We'll flag that as well. So report a lot. Again, for S and X, it's going to be harder. 2 more clicks. 3 and Ys, you can just click on the screen. The icon is right there. Report issues that you see. Will help in the long run. But yeah, this is FSD Beta. It's the best to date, but still needs a lot of work. Treat it as a very, very fledgling teen driver trying to learn its way. It's AI based. It's trying to learn its way, and you got to give it guidance and give it, some control. And sometimes you got to take over. If you have trust and faith in autopilot and you've got accustomed to that, you're going to have trust and faith in this as well. If you don't, then I would suggest trying autopilot first, testing highway autopilot first before attempting to really get comfortable with FSD Beta. Job getting over here. And one of the most important things is that at times, depending on where you are, depending on your location and your situation, the wheel or the yoke may randomly start to jerk itself left and right, just sort of thinking about what it wants to do. This blue line will always give you the intention of the car. And I just disengaged by accident. It'll always give you the intention of what the car intends to do. And sometimes it flails. And wherever it flails, that's where the yoke is going to turn. So that may be disorienting to new drivers, new testers on FSD Beta. So just be mindful of that. And again, be prepared to take over. If you're trying to take over the yoke, don't try to grab it like this or like this. Try to grab it from the biggest part, which is the bottom. An easier target for you to grab if it goes left or right. And again, just coming here just makes it easier to grab no matter how big your hands are. You can just grab a hold of something in the bottom that'll allow you to disengage, and it disengages pretty quickly and easily. So it's not as dangerous as it may seem from the outside looking in. I'm going straight. Taking its time accelerating, but again, you can just give it a little something, and you can even boost this up a little bit if you need to, just to let it go a little faster. It's going to be on its way. As you can also see, again, no DMS warnings, no driver monitoring system warnings, because the camera is not as near to my face, I guess, on my chin as our previous position. So we should be all good there. I have a clear line of sight to the camera. Camera has clear line of sight to me as it did before. Lighting is good, but I just think that it presumed that our camera was a phone and thought we were distracted. Let me go ahead and check my tire pressure here really quickly just to make sure I didn't damage it that bad jumping that curb. Bummer. All right, here we go. Good job taking the turn. Unmarked road. Nice and smooth. Almost at our destination. A couple more speed bumps will ensue, as well as a flashing stop sign, which should be no different than any other stop sign. All right. Speed bump slows down a little bit. Stays more justified to the right on this particular street. It's a decent speed to take it. If you're going to 25, I would drop down to, 15 to take this. This drops down to about 17, 18. All right. And we're ending our navigation right here at our location. All right, so I'll stop here and take over. All right, so that's it. That's FSD Beta 10.12.2. And that effectively shows you what a drive looks like with speed bumps so far, some winding roads, some unmarked roads, some suburban roads. And so far it's pretty good. Not the greatest. I am missing a rim now. Who can I bill that to? Elon, Tesla team, can I bill that to anyone? Someone reimburse me for the rim? Not sure, but that's it. That's effectively it. If this is your first time getting FSD Beta, let us know your thoughts in the comments. What do you think about it? Any questions that you have, drop them in the comments below. And until the next time,
enjoy your day, enjoy your Tesla.